I'm Alex Mentel, Senior in Animal Science, and I will be presenting on the topic of horse disposal. With the current horse population totaling more than 9.2 million in the United States, questions regarding horse disposal has become a recurring issue. In Iowa specifically, the issue surrounds the idea that horses are considered pets rather than livestock to most owners. Most states, however, view horses as livestock only and maintain that they should abide by the same disposal rules and regulations. Iowa is one of those many states that consider horses to be livestock by law. According to this law, all deceased animals must be disposed of within 24 hours of death. Numerous options are available for disposal of deceased horses. These options include burial, composting, incineration, cremation, landfills, rendering, and biodigesters. The most common method for disposing of carcasses in most states is burial. This popularity is due to the fact that owners are not required to have a permit, and the option is the most inexpensive. In Iowa, regulations for horse burial on private property are restricted to 2 horses per acre per year. The Iowa Department of Natural Resources mandates that each burial must be no greater than 6 feet deep with a minimum of 30 inches of soil cover. Other regulations include that well-drained soil must be chosen for the proper burial site and that the carcass must be placed 2 feet above the highest groundwater elevation. Although cost can be expensive, some owners choose to incinerate or cremate the deceased horse. Depending on which part of the state, cost for this method ranges from $600 to $2,000 for an average size horse weighing approximately 1,000 pounds. In Iowa, the carcass of a horse can be cremated with the use of an engineered incinerator, but the use of a homemade incinerator is prohibited. Cremation by open burning is also not permitted in Iowa. Another option mentioned is composting of the carcass. Composting uses controlled conditions in order to promote aerobic degradation of the carcass. The process of composting creates a humus-like product that contains both nutrients and organic matter. The resulting matter may be spread across cropland and is very beneficial to the soil. Biodigesters is among the latest methods used for disposal. This option involves use of chemicals to convert the horse carcass into sterile liquid slurry. Once converted, what remains of the carcass can be safely disposed of as sewage or repurposed as fertilizer. Rendering the carcass is also an option, but not available in all states. Rendering is a practice that converts one deceased horse into a value-added product. Rendering is done by using the horse carcass to produce products later used in animal feeds. Along with these options is disposing in landfills. Currently, the Iowa Department of Natural Resources state that dead horses are considered a solid waste and should be disposed of accordingly. This method is chosen for the convenience and affordability. Guidelines for specific landfills vary and should be checked before carcass transport to the site. The controversy of horse burial in Iowa becomes an issue once an owner chooses to dispose of the horse carcass off-site. Since many of these horses are considered as pets to owners, burial at a pet cemetery seems logical. But by law, animals which are deceased must be buried on the same premises as the animal operation they were a part of. With these burial regulations, the DNR strives to ensure that the quality of water consumed by people is not harmed by exposure to bacteria from the disposed carcass. This is due to the fact that drinking water can be easily contaminated once ground and surface water become polluted by excessive nitrogen and disease-causing organisms from improperly buried horses. Horse owners, conversely, do not want to be denied the right to bury their faithful companions wherever they desire. Until Iowa law reconsiders the notion that horses should be considered only livestock, owners must abide by the same rules and regulations when disposing of carcasses. In conclusion, with options such as burial, composting, incineration, cremation, landfills, rendering, and biodigesters, one has numerous options to choose from when it comes to disposal of a horse carcass. Given the regulations that dead livestock must be buried on the same premises where they originated from, burial in a pet cemetery is not an option for horse owners. However, if and when Iowa law reassesses horses as more than livestock, burial off-site may be a possibility in the future.